Okay, SciTech, today we're going to talk about plot, using plot diagrams. This is an essential skill. This is how you understand what is occurring in a story. This is a skill that we're going to use in everything that we read this year. So you have a plot diagram in front of you. The first thing that I want you to do is draw a little arrow over here, just like I did, and then I want you to write exposition. This part of your plot diagram, this is the exposition of the story. This is the introduction. This is where you learn about the main characters. This is where you're going to get background information. This is where you're going to learn what the setting is. Next, I want you to draw an arrow over here. This is the rising action. This is where the tension builds. This is where the suspense of the story builds. Now, in your Cornell notebook, really quickly, I just want you to write on the left-hand side, exposition. On the right-hand side, I want you to write the beginning of the story. We learn background information about characters, events, and the setting. In any movie you've ever seen, think about the first 15 minutes. That's where you meet the main character. That's where you learn about that character's family or their life. And that's where you figure out where the story is going to take place. Now, underneath exposition, I want you to take notes on rising action. Rising action is a series of events that build up, creating tension and suspense. This is the main bulk of the story. This is all that action that's building towards the climax. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the first two paragraphs of Pandora's Box. Now, we read this last week a few times, so you should be very, very familiar with this. Now, we're not going to read it again, but this is the first two paragraphs. And notice I highlighted a few things. In green, I highlighted in ancient Greece. So, that's giving us our setting. Here we have in ancient Greece. That's where this is taking place. In blue, I've highlighted the names of the main characters. We have Epimetheus and Prometheus. We have Zeus. We have Pandora. Now in yellow, I didn't highlight everything, but I highlighted a lot of the background information. This is about how Epimetheus and Prometheus had upset Zeus. This is about Zeus being furious and deciding that humans had to be punished. So, in the first two paragraphs, we are introduced to the main characters, setting, and conflict. This means that the first two paragraphs are the exposition. We're told about Zeus, Pandora, Prometheus, and Epimetheus. We also learn about the setting, and we learn why Zeus is angry at humans. We get all that background introductory material that we need to understand the story. Now, here's the next two paragraphs of the story. I don't want to read the whole thing, so I've highlighted a few events in purple. This is Zeus giving Pandora the box. This is where she becomes so curious that all she can think about is the box. What's in the box? That's all she's thinking about all the time. Now here we start having that tension build. It says Pandora could stand it no longer. This is when she's creeping up to the box. She keeps opening it, closing it, opening it, closing it. She's losing her mind about it. So there's all this tension and all this suspense building. These two paragraphs are building tension and suspense. Thus, this must be the rising action. Zeus sets his trap in motion by giving Pandora the box. The tension builds as Pandora struggles to not open the box. Okay, really quick, the next thing I want to talk about is mood. So the mood of a story is how a story makes the reader feel. And you can locate clues to the mood of the story by looking at the author's word choice. So we can use the author's word choice to determine how we are feeling about the story. So take some quick Cornell notes on that. Left side, write mood. Right side, write down how the story makes the reader feel. Look at the author's word choice in order to determine mood. This might sound a little confusing, but it's going to make sense right now. So, sorry about that. So, here we have a paragraph from Pandora's Box. Now, notice I've highlighted a few words in red. So we've got Zeus was furious. We've got that he wanted to punish. Punish here again. We have the word deceitful. That means that Pandora is a liar. So, how do these words make me feel? Well, furious, it makes me feel like Zeus is extremely angry. Punish, this makes me feel like Zeus is going to do something to hurt humanity. And deceitful, that means that Zeus sent a liar to harm humanity. So these words make me feel like the characters are in danger from Zeus. They make me feel threatened. They make me feel like he's threatening humanity with punishment. Because all these words are scary. They're all words about being punished, about liars, about anger. So the mood of this story, the way the reader feels, the way I feel, is threatened. Great job, guys.